time to stay, she got time to make way. Pull the shutter in a warm embrace.
Hi. Good to see you. This show's all about being a resource for people. So my goal is that every time you watch the show, there's something that you can personally take away, and that we can feel more connected as opposed to less connected. Our first guest is named Sabine, and I'm going to put like all her info down at the bottom. We were having an event at the gallery, and she came in, and she sort of embodies the "be afraid but do it anyway" mantra that we live by here.
Born and raised in New York, Queens girl all the way. I've always been a creative person, like since I was a kid I can remember, but I didn't quite know how to fit it into my life, or I didn't really like embody it. And I started in business school. I thought I was like, I need to like make money, I need to go to business school. And then as soon as I got there, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Like,
but sometimes you do the what I don't want first, and you go, oh my God, that's not it.
Yep, and then you're one step closer to knowing what is it.
And you're one step closer.
But when I met you, I was like kind of like a marketing manager.
How did that game happen?
So when I graduated from school, I got this horrible job as like an assistant in a media ad agency. It was horrible. They just couldn't stand it, but I wanted to go to like some kind of music showcase. It was RSVP, they rejected me. So then I was like, I know I work in an agency and it was put on by a magazine. So I was like, okay, let me circumvent this. I went on the website, I found someone's email and said, hey, I really want to go to this party. I really want to go to this party. I work at such and such agency. I would love to like meet you. No lie, within less than 20 minutes, a guy calls me back and I get another email that says, oh, correction, like you're on the list. I meet the guy, and by this point he had, hooked me up, so I had several drinks, and I was just being very free with my words. And he said, why do you work at such and such agency? And I said, I don't want to work at such and such agency. I said, I really want to work, I want to do creative things. I want to work somewhere like Vibe. And at the end of the conversation, he looks me square in my face and he goes, you are so passionate. I love that. I'm going to give you a job. I was like 23 years old.
So that, my friends, is the playbook. Like a lot of people ask me the same kind, like the things like that. Like, how did you oh my God, you got the gallery going. How did you? A lot of this. You
gotta put yourself out
there. A lot of the time. Sometimes it's doing things your own way as opposed to the quote unquote right way.
Right now, I'm doing a lot of things, but so I kind of like after doing some of the music and the marketing, I grew into my online boutique and SabineForever.com, which kind of came from just like always getting asked questions about like, okay, I love this look, or where did you get this, or where did you get that? And I was like, wait a minute, like I think I have a gift for this. Whatever you use, whether it's words, visuals, art, your voice, your talent, whatever talent you have, it's all up for grabs. As I'm evolving and feeling like I'm my best self, I want other women to feel that way too.
Right.
Like it's accessible to us. There's nothing stopping us. It's just, a lot of people don't know. Sometimes when people think of like taking care of themselves, they make it a whole brand projection. Like I need to get a facial, I need to do this, I need to go here, I need to go there, but like you can treat yourself and you can take care of yourself like with what you have already, So I'll have my little time in the night where I listen to my music, I have my candles, I take a bath,
Do you meditate?
In the morning, I have my little prayer time and my time that I talk to God.
Meditation?
It is, right? Okay. Ever start a day without that?
So you do.
Never.
So you do.
Yeah.
Really?
It's the first thing I do.
Do you visualize?
I'm a daydreamer, but in the way that it makes me more excited about the life that I want to create.
Right.
So I've been that way since I was.
Do you remember your dreams?
Sometimes.
My boyfriend and I do a thing where in the morning I'm like, well, what did you drink? What did you drink? We do a whole thing and it helps you remember. Just so you know. Like I even do a thing where when I go to sleep, like right before I fall asleep, I sometimes pose a question and I'll get like answers.
In the dream?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I think when you're in fashion or you're doing what you have to do, it's all visual. Mm-hmm. You have to conceptualize it before you.
I love a good mood board. And like I know people talk about vision boards.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
Okay. For me sometimes like I just want to channel the mood for this summer. So that's what I've been working on like the last few weeks. Like I've been pinning, I love Pinterest, pinning images everywhere I see, whether it's from Instagram, from just the web, whatever, like things that are going to encapsulate my summer. So it's a combination of like, I guess it's a vision board and visualization, and also just my look, my aesthetic for the summer. Places I'm going to go, I'm going to have wine, I'm going to have, like, so I clip all the images and like over time, and then eventually I'm going to like print them out and put them kind of inside my closet probably, like, because most of it's fashion. So like when I open my closet door in the morning, I see like, this is what we're doing, this is the look, this is what we're doing at night, like, hello.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah,
You really have that in your closet?
I'm working on it right now. Like first I was
That's a
fully
great
committed.
idea, by the way. Wait, and so how does that help you?
It helps me to, one, remember the things that are on my to-do list for the next 3 to 6 months. Two, to like create the visual life that I actually want.
It's gotta be a place that you visit every morning. Maybe it's a closet, maybe it's like, you know, your bathroom behind like the bathroom mirror, or something that's like your morning routine, and it really puts you in a headspace like the moment you get up in the morning.
Right. Yeah, and and the first thing you encounter is like, whoa, this is the life that I want.
Right.
Am I doing that today? Am I doing something to move myself closer toward these things? It's funny because sometimes it's not until you look back that you see like, oh my gosh, like I crossed off all of these things without even actively being like, oh, check. Like it's more so when I go back and I see, because you're putting yourself in the mind state and exposing yourself consistently to this, these are my goals, then it just kind of happens.
It's totally true. And are there moments where you like look back and something that seems disastrous, as it seemed disastrous at the time, like it's such a blessing?
Yes.
Okay, give us one of those.
This is the one, I love this person, and I was so like
we're going to the love
encapsulated
thing.
into the
We're doing the relationship thing. Okay.
I was so like locked in. I was, you know, I became exposed to the truth about this person. Just like not putting myself first, you know, in life, and I had to look at like, you know, do I really love myself? Like, what does loving yourself mean? That experience like set me on a trajectory to just go through. All of 2018 was like an eat, pray, love, like self-discovery year for me, because I'm like, I didn't go through that horrible thing, and at the moment it seemed like my world was upside down, and like, what do I do? Like, I envisioned my life with this person, but now I'm like, the life that I have now does not even compare to like where I was like a year ago. You know,
you gotta get like even away from it. Like give yourself some time.
I don't give myself too much time, honestly. I don't believe in giving yourself too much time, because
I was gonna say, because it can get
dark.
dark.
Yeah, it can get too dark, and you get to the sunken place and you want to stay there.
But you like allow it.
Or even like if it's a small thing, then like, okay, you have
Good.
20 minutes or you have 3
You have
hours.
You have 20
If it's a
minutes.
big thing, like, okay, your life is like shattered, then you can do a few days of following. But like, you know, we have to move forward, right? We don't have a
That's
choice.
pretty funny though. You have 20 minutes.
Yeah, like for real. I'm like, girl, like, because
Clock's ticking.
time is going. Yeah, time is not waiting for anyone, and that's one thing. Like, if I could really impress on young people, you know, I'm a young person.
Go
it's
impress.
like your life is about, you need to figure out what you want to do and pursue it at full speed. You know that you have something you need to be achieving in your life, or you have a drive to move in a certain direction. You really have to focus on yourself, loving yourself, doing what your purpose is, and finding that and just going for it.
What do you do about that internal tape that's like not the good one?
Like, you have to acknowledge, like, I'm not in the
And
best
for people
place.
that don't understand, what's the tape?
The tape is the negative messages that play in your head. Like they probably reoccur. Like, oh, maybe you're not good enough, or nobody wants to read that thing, or nobody wants to.
And they usually get programmed, they say between 1 and 5. So it's the stuff that's like you were around and you just like, you know what I mean? You sort of incorporate it and you might not even be aware of it. You think that when you get away from home, that the tape goes away, you take it with you.
Everywhere you go.
So that you take it with you. So what'd you do?
So you have to actively combat the tape. You have to, like I said, acknowledge it, and kind of almost like, you know how we were talking about meditation, like kind of have more of an awareness of your thoughts. And so when you hear the tape coming, you can just, the tape is not happening today, or like.
And it's really not.
Yeah.
You literally have to go, no.
Yeah, we're not doing
And
it.
sometimes they'll be like, I'm wonderful, I'm great, this is great. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you, it's like you have to undo the neurons. Those connectors are like real business. Like,
whatever the tape is saying, that's probably a lie. You know, try to like counteract that. Like, no, like I did do good in that area, or no, I have a plan and I'm following the plan, and things are working out well, and you know, celebrate things that you are doing well. It's little stuff that I just do to make my everyday life rewarding. You know, to constantly just be assessing, like, well, where am I in relation to this thing that I really want? How much do I really want this thing? Do I want this thing enough to, you know, not look at Instagram for an hour a day? Or I need to stay on course with the plan that I wrote out for my year, the plan that I wrote out for my quarter, you know, the life that I want to have, even every day. Like, if I want to have time to relax at night, I need to do X, Y, and Z during the hours of 9 to 5 p.m. You know?
Yeah. So discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline.
But know that you're doing it for yourself. Though. But the trick is to be kind to yourself.
It makes sense because nature is cyclical. Nature operates in seasons. So how can you keep going and going and going? Just have to have balance and, like you said, self-correct. Okay, now we're back on track.
Do you have a motto for yourself?
Be still and know that I am God. So some things I'm like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna work out. I don't know what's going on, but I know God is God. He's gonna take care of it. But some of it, I just believe a lot of it is up to God.
And your perception. You can control your perception of what's happening. It's a relationship, maybe, right?
Yep.
The flip side is, it was a good thing. It would have been a gift in that moment to be like, well, I'm sad. That didn't work. I don't know what it's about, but I do know that there's something coming that's better, or there's something that I'm going to learn from this. It's going to push me into the next thing.
Exactly.
Right? Thank you.
Yay, that was really fun.
Like, oh my God, like I'm all sweaty.
It's funny that you say that.
How are
I
you
was
not
literally-
sweaty? I turn all the fans in here for the sound, and I'm like, holy, look at how, like, oh my God, I can't handle it. Okay.
You know, as a kid, I wanted to be in front of the camera. So I'm like, now that I have